Is everybody good to go?
Yep.
I believe so.
All right, I got the theme going. All right. Last time we played, midnight broke. The party, sans V, who had been taken by Gareth Harlow, the vampire of Lambeth Manor, stumbled through an encounter with the Black Knight, the witch, and you managed to figure out that there was a weakness, a magical enchantment of sorts that was holding the Headless Horseman together, and break it. And I believe Maximilian just whooped the crap out of the witch, right? With like a high-level telekinesis. He just like knocked her unconscious. And during this fight, there was another problem. Deracine was impaled, and the party realized that they could not remove the spiked rod without killing him, and that he was actively dying. And after he passed unconscious during the combat, a torn Charlotte, we'll say, since Stella isn't here to represent herself, but she was role-playing as very torn, chose to take some of Gareth's blood that was nearby and feed it to Deracine so he wouldn't turn into a thrall when he died. And Deracine awoke, fully healed, as a vampire. A child of Gareth Harlow. A child of the night. And pressing on and finding Gareth Harlow, along with the ritual that he had been working on for so long, the Eternal Midnight, which you had no backstory for. It's possible I could have designed this dungeon better, but it is what it is. You skipped all the lore. But that doesn't matter, because you still won the fight. And you guys had kind of an epic contest against Harlow. That was pretty intense. Multiple people got knocked down and had to be helped back up. Additionally, it appeared when you got to V's body that he had passed. Because when you died and came back in unlife, your death still affected the deal. However, after defeating Gareth, you attempted a kind of haphazard ritual of your own. And using your powers as a vampire, you were able to remake the deal, mend its torn pages, and V came back to consciousness. Unfortunate as it was to miss the vampire fight, you were alive. Well, as alive as you can be. And the deal appears to be back in place, though technically you guys aren't sure if it changed how it worked in some way or another. Additionally, during the fight, the party managed to break the kind of puzzling ritual and, in turn, end the ritual, which pulled old Lambeth back into the plane of existence where it first came from, back to Eldrinel proper, where mortals are born and live their lives. And as we pick up our story with, I think, chapter 13, lucky number 13.
That's not ominous.
As we pick up our story, we see all of you trudging out of the edge of the woodlands, back into the edges of Old Lambeth. I kind of put your figures on the map, kind of where you would be, the area you would be coming back into town. And you're greeted by the warmth of the sun and the feeling of life around all of you. Birds chirping and blue skies. That stillness that laid that weight over your shoulders. Gone.
V, I need your coat.
Okay. I'll take off my coat and give it to him.
You would notice that he's kind of like lingering back in the shade of the trees, like not wanting to step out into the sunlight.
I'm gonna hide under the coat, full on, like Spike.
Yeah, oh yeah, we canonize that in direct sunlight vampires kind of have to Spike from Buffy. So
I'll still be darting from shade to shade as best I can.
Sure. Well, I guess before you guys leave the trees, since you know that he's going to look super weird running around out there, what is your approach to the return to the town? You guys should probably consider in and out of character, things you want to do, who you needed to see. Try to remember why you went there in the first place.
I mean, we originally went there because the councilman had been dragged off by the Headless Horseman into the woods.
Yeah.
They did send you to... they didn't really send you to rescue him. I think that...
It was the other one that we found in the... It was the other counselor that we found in the jail when we were in jail.
Councilman Monroe sent you out there.
Yeah. And
I think he sent you out there basically because he was like, I want you to bring back something signifying that you took care of that guy who attacked the edge of the town. And he also wanted you to, I think he wanted you to make sure the bagmen were gone.
Yeah. We didn't see them. I mean, we couldn't have seen them all leave, I guess. But when we lit up the church,
you killed all the bagmen that were there,
right?
But the leader.
Okay, but the leader, damn,
Who escaped.
that's right.
He got away into the woods.
While we were fighting the Chimera.
Probably won't come back to hunt you, so don't worry about it.
Exactly how BBEGs are made. God damn it, how we let that happen.
In our D&D campaign, they hustled this guy at a gambling table named Farmer, who was a farmer, and his dad's name was Farmer also, so he was Farmer, the farmer's son of Farmer. They hustled this dude at a poker table, and I have repeatedly brought this farmer, the farmer's son of Farmer, back in different evil forms. He's the worst enemy.
Yeah, he's like the Silver Surfer of our big bad BBEG.
It's so ridiculous. Anyways,
Nice.
cut that out.
No, all kidding, because we were fucking dicks in character for no reason, really.
Just like the one time they were assholes, I turned the NPC into like the worst, most annoying character ever.
We weren't an asshole to this one, right?
Farmer?
No, this one.
No.
Okay.
The bagman? I mean, he was an asshole to you first.
Overlord of the bag.
Yeah.
Bagman, the Bagman, son of Bagman?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Lord Bagman.
Anyways.
So he got away, but we got... What did we brought back something? I remember us saying something we were going to bring back something significant.
I thought one of you grabbed his sword. But I could be wrong.
Somebody definitely
You can
had
retcon
grabbed
that you
his
brought
sword
something.
at one point.
Yeah, we would have taken something. The sword, probably a good idea. Maybe one of the sigils of like the Secretian orders from Old Lambeth.
Sure.
Something like that. I don't know. But in character, did we? I just saw it a character. Did we just pop up like right outside of Lambeth Hollow?
No,
Or
you guys popped up like in the middle of the woods where Old
that's what I
Lambeth
thought.
was originally.
Yeah.
And you guys walked back this way.
Okay.
So you've been walking through the trees for like an hour or two. Charlotte's gonna kind of look at all of you and say, well, Ranger Eagleton wanted us to report back in and make sure that the rest of them were out of the woodlands. So did the councilman. I, for one, could use a meal. I wouldn't mind stopping in at the Inn of the Long Lost, or... Also, I have a feeling I need to have a conversation with Ethel.
Oh yes, that will be that is necessary. Maybe
Yeah.
fill in some gaps in our knowledge.
Also, one of us should probably check and see if the carriage is ready to leave yet. Or if it's
We have
left
a
without
carriage.
us.
One might have been showing up for me, actually.
She's just gonna turn and look at you. Interesting.
whole carriage just for you.
Possibly.
Why?
Well, we could get into that, or we could find me somewhere safe.
Inside, at least.
Yes. Preferably.
We're going to need to get you some blood.
I have 2 vials left.
She'll not.
It's a good thing I see 3 people with blood.
Well, perhaps some of us stop in with Eagleton and some of us stop in with the councilman.
I'll go to Eagleton. I liked her better than politicians.
Daracine, perhaps you should go as well.
As long as it is inside.
I mean, it's the lodge. Over there by the road, the station.
Didn't the station burn down?
Station did.
Yeah, but they've got their camp set up outside of it, remember?
Oh, okay, yeah.
So,
So we're going to the camp.
yeah, I mean, it's in the same general area as the station. Because it was like right over here by the road that they set up the tents. And well, I'll head to the councilman. I wouldn't mind some company from at least one of you.
I think I can accompany you, although give Rage and Eagleton my regards.
Will do.
Charlotte's just gonna turn and look at you. Max. And Maximilian, will you be heading back to the market to entertain?
Well, I suppose that would give me the opportunity to check up on the carriage, after all. Someone's got to do it.
She'll nod.
And I did have a show scheduled that I missed I don't actually know what day it is.
She nods at that as well. Yes, I'm curious how much time has passed as well. And
Ah, well, regardless of the time, I'm sure the crowds are eagerly awaiting my return.
she is going to head to the council house.
Yeah, I'll go with her. I'll kind of like offer an arm because she's probably still pretty exhausted and pretty scuffed up. So I'll offer an arm.
I'll dart from tree to tree.
Max, you want to head to the market?
Yeah, I'll go.
Or do you want to go with one of them and then go there afterwards? It's totally up to you. Just checking.
Yeah, Max will just go check up on the carriage and look for his assistant and that sort of thing.
All right. So your assistant last time you saw him was at the market, and then you know that the carriages are actually going to be over here by the inn. Okay. Heading to the tents at the ranger station. V, you and Daracine quickly duck into one of the tents, and you see a couple of the rangers turn and squint. We're wondering if we're going to see all of you again. And then you see some gloved hands pushing through them, and Eagleton kind of passes the 2 larger men, and she straightens up and she smiles. Yes, we had thought maybe the roots of the trees had swallowed you all up. It's been almost a week.
A week.
This has been a whole week. Oh,
And wasn't it only like 2 days for us?
Yeah, it was you weren't even there. It didn't even feel like you were there for 48 hours.
Wow.
Sure flies differently between dimensions.
I'm sorry, not a week, a segment. It's 5 days later in the segment. So you're actually in the next segment now. You're in like the middle of them. You're in the middle of the 3 segments of the month right now.
But basically, like, at least twice as long
Yeah.
out here as
It's been a little. She's saying that it's been like a day longer than twice as long.
Okay.
2.3 amounts of time have passed.
2.3 amounts.
It does not feel like it has been that long.
Well,
In either case, here we are.
did you find those bagmen? The ones that were harassing my rangers?
We did. We killed all of them except for the leader who managed to escape after throwing a chimera at us.
They look at each other confused. What's a chimera?
Well, it had the head of a lion, and then like scorpion tails, and did it have wings? No.
He's gonna turn and look at you, Daracine, and say, "I believe your ward may have hit his head."
Well, I can't recall exactly what creatures it was made out of. He is not wrong. It was a mashup of some
I
sort
suppose
of
the more
magical
important
beast.
question is, have you taken care of the trouble we asked you to take care of?
Well, as he said, the one ran away. But all the rest have been dealt with, as far as we could tell.
She'll kind of take some time to like take in the faces of all like the 6 or 7 rangers total that are in the tent with her, and then she'll look back to you and she'll step forward and she'll open up a pouch and she'll hand you sorry, I'm trying to remember which segment of the money is the lower segment.
The coats, I think, are the lower.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting here. Okay. She'll kind of like sift through it with her hand, and she'll put the pouch in your hand, and she'll say, I believe there's 25 Dakotas in there. It's not very much, but it's something.
I thank you very much. Hopefully that one's traveler does not come back to do anything by himself.
If he does, he'll find us waiting for him. I believe the councilman extended the hold time on your rooms at the inn, hoping you would return. Definitely go and see him, and you have somewhere to rest if you need it.
I think I will go do that.
Did you know that the history you have in the visitor center and the actual history we found out there do not line up at all?
Out where?
In Old Lambeth?
You found Old Lambeth?
Yeah.
She'll turn and look at you. Like she's waiting for confirmation from somebody whose opinion she trusts more.
Weird.
Is it like that strange magical creature? We thought it was hidden beneath some sort of veil, but that is now down as well. And I'll give directions as best I can recall to where we came from.
She'll
To
nod.
get here.
Thank you. And then she'll kind of look out. You'll see some of the rangers are already like picking things up, like they're getting ready to leave. And she'll say, we'll take a look into that.
There's quite a bit of history to find, at the very least.
She'll nod. You should go get some rest.
I would like that very much. Thank you.
You look pay it?
You get.
I imagine it.
She'll just nod. And they'll kind of start getting ready as the two of you leave.
We had a run-in with a vampire.
Yes. You should go get some rest.
We should go now, V.
Okay.
Alright.
Where do the two of you want to head from there?
I imagine back
To
to
the inn.
the inn
Yeah.
on the most shaded route imaginable.
Preferably.
There are shades along the walk that you could keep to. So you guys start to head that way. We'll cut over to the council house. You open the door for Charlotte, and the two of you head in. You see the councilman is sitting with a couple other older townsfolk, and he kind of turns and looks up at the two of you, and the guards kind of like take positions in the room, and he looks to the two that are with him, and he says, If you'd excuse me, I have an appointment, but I'll look into that as soon as I can. And they'll kind of nod to him and then hastily leave as one of the guards escorts them out. And he'll look to the constables, and then he'll look to all of you, and he'll look to the other constable, and he'll say, I think you can wait outside as well. And he'll turn to leave. So, what news do you have for me? Charlotte kind of slumps down on one of the couch seats. You can tell she's just like exhausted.
Yeah. Well, Councilman, we found a mighty lot of things out there. We found old Lambeth, and we found the connection with the bagmen. It's a long story, but the bagmen have been defeated. One got away, and well, I don't think the Headless Horsemen know any witch or whatever is going to be bothering Lambeth again.
Did you bring the trophy I asked for?
Yeah, I maybe would unclip it off my back, like put it down. I'll say this belonged to the not so good bishop.
He leans over and he kind of studies it, and he says, Interesting. This is a knight's blade. You know, based upon these markings, I'd place it... Well, I'm only an amateur historian, but around year 300, perhaps? That'd be the time of the 12 Kingdoms.
See, that is very accurate, actually. More accurate, in fact, than the visitor center information you got in the middle of town.
Oh, have you learned something about this town out there?
Oh, we have.
Perhaps I should send some of the constables to take a look?
Possibly. I'm pretty sure the good doctor and his son are talking to the rangers right now, so they might be thinking the same thing you are.
He squints, and he takes a set of directions that Charlotte draws down for him, and he calls to one of the constables, and he leans up and he whispers in his ear, and he hands him the note. And the constable rushes out. He'll look back to you and he'll say, Well, it seems that all of you did everything and more. What you say, he stands up and he walks to the cabinet. Opening it, he pulls out a small chest and opens it up, and he starts counting out demarks. 10 demarks to each of you?
We agree upon a price? Or is this just
he and
him
I both honestly can't remember. He'll pause for a minute as he sees you. He'll pause for a minute as he sees you thinking it over, and he'll say, Actually, based upon that extra information you gave me, perhaps 20. And he'll start doubling up the stacks.
That's mighty kind of you. I think we'll tell him a little bit about what went on there. A couple other things that should have been, just to look out for corruption going forward, right? Don't let something like this.
Sure.
And I'll say that fellow that was leading the men with the bags over their heads got away, but I'm not sure he would want to come back here after all the trouble this caused him. He's not being funded anymore, that's for sure. But just make sure that your town, the ones who need to know what he looks like. Or watch out, I guess.
He'll nod and say, yes, we'll take all of that into consideration. I just wanted to let all of you know that along with that payment, I've been preserving your status at the inn as far as your rooms. You look like you could use a rest.
It's been a rough couple of days.
Also, the carriage that brought you in, it left without you. Unfortunately, it was a private venture, so I didn't really have the control to keep it. However, a strange carriage showed up with a driver looking for your friend, Dersine. So perhaps he would be able to help you. If not, I could have a carriage here in 2 or 3 days' time for the rest of your group.
We'll ask Dersine what that might be, if he's expecting one at all.
The council hall is open to all of you. Just return if you need any favors. Now go, get some rest.
Goodbye to eat first, I think. But...
let them know that's on the council as well.
Oh, well, you're too kind.
Charlotte's got the money bagged up, and she starts to lift the bag, and then she just kind of pushes it over to you because it's pretty heavy.
Yeah, I'll shake his hand, and I'll say, hopefully Lambeth Hollow returns to its sleepy little existence.
Make an insight test for me. Target number is 10.
I don't know if I can hit that. What do I have with insight?
You can with momentum. Would put it at 7.
Oh man, do I dare tempt fate on a somewhat chill session and give you something like that?
Look at it, it's trying to jump out of your bowl already. Can't you see that?
I can't, and I won't. I won't have that level of...
He's nervous because I beat his ass at Star Wars Legion earlier today. Sorry, I had to keep that one in there.
It's not playing D&D with you for 10 to 12 to 15 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
That's not what it is? Okay. Yeah. Alright, I mean, that's
it comes back to us at the end of the session, so if it's really going to be chill, we got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I had 3.
We'll
I had 3 last session I didn't use. It's getting to the point where I almost feel like I should get to keep them longer. So many of them I don't use.
Why not?
Alright, that puts it down to a 7.
Definitely hit that. Oh, what is that? Is that exactly a 5? We don't do good on insight.
You're not really sure how he's feeling. You do feel like ever since you gave him the news about what you found in the woods, he's been trying to kind of get you out of there so he can focus on other things.
Okay. For sure. I mean, I'll give Charlotte a hand up, and then we'll get out of there.
The 2 of you head out. As you head out, you would see the other part of the party as you're heading down this road, and these 2 groups would probably see each other. Additionally, all of you can see a group of kids running around this building, which is still being worked on and repaired, the visitor center, this way, and you see some sparks like fireworks going off in the sky above the marketplace.
Max doesn't waste any time getting back to entertainment.
Seems not.
Do the 2 of you hold up for them? I'm going to say yes, since nobody said no.
Yeah, I don't know who you're asking, but...
And I was asking the 2 of them if they were going to wait for you and Charlotte, but it's okay. And eventually, you all make your way over to the market, where you see... Jesse, are you there?
Yes.
Can you answer the message I sent you?
I did.
I'm pretty sure I'm right, but I'm just trying to make sure. I should have rewatched that part.
Yeah, I believe that's right.
Yes, okay. You would see his entertainers stage is unfolded from the rolling cart. The little pack horse that pulls it is off to the side, eating some grass, and Brandon is taking Dakotas from children's parents for the show. And go ahead and roll a performance test for me, Max.
Excellent.
Max, this is a graded performance test, so you'll get something if you hit a target number of 8. You'll get something better if you hit a target number of 12, and you'll get something even better if you hit a target number of 16.
Great. So everyone's fine with me using momentum, right?
Do it.
Okay, I'll take it.
I got a 6.
Oh, really? That's too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2d8. The maximum I can possibly hit is a 16.
No, true. Well, it went. They would have all gone down. So you at least hit the lowest one because they all went down by 3. And it was 8, 12, 16. So you make a total of 12 Dakotas from your performance.
Sweet.
And you would see them kind of walking up, catching the end of it. There's no one else in the marketplace today. It's pretty quiet. Most of the activity is at these 2 buildings and here because of repairs, and the station is still being like scraped away so they can restart it basically.
Now, Jensen will say, well, Max surely doesn't take too much time getting back to entertaining.
No, doesn't
Well-
seem like it.
Well, there you are. Glad you all could join me. I believe I've astonished enough laymen for the day.
Charlotte's just shake her head. Brandon's gonna poke his head out at you, Max, and say, "Oh yeah, boss, I forgot. It's been like a week, by the way. You left me here for a week. Like,
Did you say a week?
And I would never have done that, my lad, if I didn't trust you completely to oversee my affairs in the meantime.
he rolls his eyes. I need to have my calendar open so I stop looking this up. Yeah.
We just started hearing different amounts of time from every
Yeah,
NPC we
everybody.
talked
No, you were told that some time had passed by the council because
Yeah.
he told you that. He told you that he was keeping the rooms locked for you. But yes, Brandon would confirm you guys left on like Gala Day, like the 7th, the 7th of Gala Day, and you didn't come back until Karu Day. So it's been like 6 days basically their time. Then Max starts sweeping up all of the like little bits from like the spark show and stuff, and getting things ready. James was so on point with that. We barely heard it, and he got that mute off. I was on. He knew it was coming. Charlotte's gonna look over all of you. Charlotte's gonna look over all of you as this is happening, and she's going to say, "Well, we may have an issue. It sounds as though our original driver left us. However, interestingly enough, it does appear that a driver has come for you. Perhaps you sent a letter we didn't know about."
I assume it was. I assume it was from my family.
Why did your family send a carriage here?
Yes, I'd be interested to know that as well.
To give me a lift back to Aethergarde. That is my guess anyway.
Interesting. And you wouldn't mind if some of us tagged along?
Provided we all fit, I see no problem with this.
That solves our transportation issue.
The good councilman told us that the one that came for us was that we came in on was a private venture. That didn't happen to be from your family too, was it?
No. If it was mine, they would not have left.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I figured they didn't know you had come out here.
She's going to look back and forth between the two of you.
So once
I did tell them I was leaving. They probably have somebody looking out for me that I'm not aware about. We did not leave on the best of terms, though.
Interesting. Well, if it gets us to Aethergarde, then... She turns and she looks at you, Max. And what was your plan, Maximilian? Were you planning to continue to Aethergarde, or were you staying here to put on more shows?
Well, I always intended to make it to Aethergarde eventually. I wouldn't want to wait until they die of boredom, after all.
Now, Max, we haven't really talked about this outside of play, but you would know that there are some pretty famous, like Broadway in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a Broadway run of theaters in the upper district, one of the upper districts of Aethergarde. That's like full of famous theaters that like famous performers have performed at and stuff. So, like big Broadway show theaters. Oh my God, he can make all of you part of his magic
A
show.
lamplight.
Oh,
And we
yeah,
can
so
do
we'll-
like a big performance skill challenge. Oh my God.
Watch me bring these two
Thank
corpses
you.
back to life.
Watch
You
me
and you
cut off,
come up and let me bite you. I'll turn you into vampires.
watch me cut off my hand and have it crawl around.
Oh, dude, that could totally be one.
That is.
Victorian people were super entertained by morbid shit like that. That'd be awesome. All right.
Max will sort of brush dust off his sleeves and say, "And I have been intending to scale up my act a bit. After all, the same old show over and over again does get tiresome after a while."
Charlotte will nod. Perhaps we can caravan together. The roads will be safer that way.
Indeed, that sounds like a splendid idea.
Oh yes, and our rooms are on hold, I believe. So we have a place to rest at least. That doesn't technically. We'll say that he picked an extra one up for Max because he knew Max was leaving to help you guys.
I concur about the safety in numbers. I rather enjoyed, despite the circumstances, I rather enjoyed y'all's company. I wouldn't mind making my way to Aethergarde. It's been a long time. Actually, along the way, if you guys wouldn't mind, the lodge of me and my hunters, the one I call home, is not that far out of the way. You wouldn't mind making a stop there. Maybe I can do something, and he'll like pull his blade out, and you can see how it's like brittle now and like pockmarked and shit like that. There's a certain something I'd like to see about a better looking blade than this. Well, maybe we get some information, and maybe we can get a job. Who knows?
I am not opposed to this. However, I cannot say that the driver waiting for me would technically work for me and not my father.
Well, perhaps you'll have to meet him and find out what his duties entail.
Yes.
By the way, Jensen, you should just stitch that sword and train with these, because you can't lose these. Or if you do,
Oh,
they
well.
can at least come crawling back.
There's a lot of sentimental value tied up in this blade.
You do know that not
Appreciate
everyone's hands crawl back to them, right?
That would be a
Well,
neat
that-
trick.
That's kind of a... Charlotte turns to you and says, that's kind of a you thing.
Sorry, dogs. Are you sure?
Yes, I'm quite sure.
I mean, 100% of the people I've seen get their hands chopped off have been able to have their hands come crawling back to them.
Well, perhaps next time we inevitably get in trouble, Jins can cut off somebody's hand for you, and you can kind of see how it works for normal people.
Or I can tell you for a certainty that most hands do not get it back up, and believe me, if they did, I would pick it up and throw it in the nearest fire as soon as possible. He's got a big smile on it, like a goofy smile on his face, like, don't fucking tempt me.
Oh, well, I could still teach you how to fight with them if you ever need to.
I feel like we will have some time on the road to maybe do a little sparring, now that I know I have a worthy adversary.
That'll make traveling more fun than it was the last time.
As you guys continue your conversation, you, along with Maximilian's cart and Brandon, head across town to the Inn of the Long Lost, or the Last Sup, depending on who you talk to. And, sorry. He typed something funny in the in-game chat. All of you, we kind of fade to all of you inside of the inn. They brought out a fresh meal for all of you at the booth that you took before. Brandon is outside feeding the horse and getting it set up in a stall and finishing packing away the cart for longer travel. Also, it was pointed out to all of you as you entered that the
Ethel works here, right? I don't remember
that the what? Yes,
Ethel
she
works
does.
here?
Ethel actually pointed out to all of you that the
Before we
scout-
get there, I'm
Yes.
gonna look Charlotte and be like, this conversation you'd like to have with Ethel, is this something you would like to have as a group, or just a one-on-one, lady to lady?
She turns to all of you and says, "That really depends. Are all of you interested in finding out why the hell we almost killed a witch that looked just like her, or
Well, very much so. I was just trying to be polite.
perhaps
Wait,
one of us
you
should
guys
try to..."
didn't kill her?
Well, we don't know if she was dead or unconscious, to be honest. I don't think any of us checked her pulse.
That's a rookie mistake.
I'm confused. Are you some kind of professional killer?
Kind of.
I am actually. Rookie mistake on my part.
Well, perhaps we didn't need to kill her. She's not as much of a threat without the Headless Horseman, yes? Perhaps Ethel will have a better chance of talking to her than us. I don't know. Let's just see if she'll join us at the booth. Then all of you head in. Ethel brought you all some drinks. She had some other tables she had to go to, but then she said she would come back. She also pointed out that the sallow-faced man sitting at the end of the bar who had been drinking there the last 3 days has repeatedly asked for Deracine, saying that he is waiting for him. She said that she believes that he goes by the name of Rupert.
Is he there now?
He is. Let's see if we can get this to fade. That one's for you, YouTube.
That's for you, YouTube. I mean, now you have to like, comment, and subscribe, viewer, for that alone.
If we could just get our players to like,
Sure.
comment, and subscribe.
Keep this in, Chris. Keep this in.
Why would I cut
Chris
him?
is like, I don't edit these that much.
All right.
Ethel is currently, as Ethel has said, she's going to come back as soon as she has time. She's helping some more tables, and Rupert is drinking at the end of the bar. He didn't seem to notice you, Deracine.
Do I know?
You haven't met him before. He must be a fairly new driver, like in the last. I don't know. How long has it been since you've been there? Has it been years?
I'd say it's probably a couple years.
Yeah, so it's been like he's been hired within the last couple of years, as far as you know.
Do you know him?
Not personally, no. Based on his dress, probably. I'd say probably from my father. He's waiting for me, after all.
Any idea why they want to call you back?
I don't know.
Did you guys reconcile while I was gone?
I have not spoken to them. Perhaps they are ready to speak some more.
Not speaking would make it really hard to reconcile.
It would. This could be their helping hand reaching back out.
Okay. Do you want me to go with you? To talk to him?
If you want to. We're not leaving yet.
Okay.
Unless he puts a bag over my head and takes me outside.
I'll kick his
I
ass
d-
then.
I don't know how much they want me back home.
I'll go with you just in case then.
So you want to wait for Ethel to get back for now?
Yeah.
Ethel helps some more tables, serves some more drinks, and then she comes back with more food for all of you. And she sits down. And she says, "All right, dears. And what did you need? I heard you went traipsing off into the woods. You should be careful. When I was young, those woods were pretty dangerous."
Was that like 1,000 years ago?
She turns and
I'm
she
watching her intently. Her reaction.
make an insight test. This is against a target number of 6. She turns and she gives you kind of a surprised look. Oh, well,
9.
she seems a little startled.
Okay.
Well, she looks at Charlotte, and Charlotte gives her kind of like a silent but meaningful look. Yes. Yes, it was. You see, I was born in... Well, I was born in the first Lambeth.
We've been there.
You've been there. In my younger years, I scoured those words. I learned every root and bush. I spoke to every tree, and I could not find my home.
It got pulled into an alternate dimension pocket thing. Harlow called it the Long Night.
Long midnight, in fact.
Long Midnight.
Charlotte goes, Eternal midnight.
That's right.
That's the one.
Excellent.
It's like I'm the only one who takes notes. She'll nod and she'll say, yes. I didn't quite understand it. I was only a child when it happened. But it left me with some strange properties. My connection to nature, it's always been there. Me and my sister both had it. But, it seems as though it's taken me a very long time to get to my golden years, and I couldn't quite explain that. Not even now.
Your sister, you see.
She'll look at you. Yes. I lost her at the same time I lost my home.
She was still in your home.
Her connection to nature, I think, manifested a little bit differently than yours has.
She always
I'm afraid
had.
I'm afraid she may have encountered a rather unfortunate tumble with some furniture, but she might still be out there somewhere.
Well, could you... Charlotte, without saying anything, just pushes a piece of paper across to her with, like, directions basically drawn. She picks it up, and she pockets it.
Seems that it would be your sister who sent the Headless Horseman after the good council members of this town.
She nods. I was in the crowd that night. I can't remember exactly where we got cut off. You were talking to Ethel. She was saying that oh, yeah. I should go, is there anything else you needed from me?
I mean, some explanations might be, did you know that your sister was in league with Harlow, or what was going on? Did you know anything? Was there any inkling of this, if you're really from back then?
I suspected that the witchcraft activity in the area was possibly because of her. I've had some suspicions in the past that old Lambeth still had an effect on this place, but I was never able to find it.
It was pretty well hidden.
I
Exactly.
may have had some suspicions when I met all of you that, you might find it. That's why I left Charlotte some things to help her in the hedge maze. Charlotte kind of nods her head and pulls out the unused totem that she found that for a witch's sigil, and Ethel just smiles at her and says, "You can keep that." And Charlotte stows it back in her pocket.
Did you help him lie about the history of the town? Or why was it all wrong at the visitor center?
When old Lambeth was taken and I was found as a child, I tried a few times to explain the truth of the situation, but it seemed like the spell itself had had some kind of effect. It hadn't simply removed old Lambeth, but it had erased Lambeth from the minds of many. I was treated as though I was quite insane.
I know that feeling.
It seems better, anyways, that the history is the way it is.
Well, I won't lie. Those those sigils being left here, we assumed were from you. Made quite a skeptic of us, whether intended or not.
She'll... you say that one more time?
I meant to say it a little bit before, but the scene went on too long. But basically, I'm saying, like, you leaving that for us made us suspicious of her. Like,
Oh. Well, its connection was primal. I had hoped that Charlotte would understand. It could be useful. That's all. Charlotte nods her head. I was suspicious, but I'm often suspicious of everybody.
with all the out of the ordinary things happening around here, you can excuse our naivete.
She shakes her head. You have done amazing things since you got here in such a short time as well. You accomplished what I could not in all my years of life. And I have had far more than I was supposed to.
Well, considering the timing, actually, the timing of you said, well, is your long lifespan maybe due to whatever put it? There was a ritual that put it there, where it was hidden away. Could you have been caught up in it or something?
I don't truthfully know, though I have always attributed my strange ability to live on as connected to walking or passing from that plane back into this one. Passing through the ritual as it occurred. I really was the only one that made it out.
Does she seem sincere about that?
Make an insight test.
I still can't get it. I'm gonna roll with dice.
Oh, you still can't get in? I don't see you online. I don't see you online on
Steam.
on Steam. So
Okay. I got a 7.
yeah, not sure. She seems sincere, honestly, but
Okay.
you're not 100% sure if you're reading it right. I'd really like to go. It's been quite a long time since I ventured that deep into the woods, but if perhaps I could find Poppy, I'd like to.
Wasn't there poppies in one of the paintings very
Yes.
prominently? Yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
Charlotte will just
Oh.
kind of... You go for it.
I would just kind of smile at that, at the name, and then remember that in my head and kind of smile.
She's going to turn and she's going to drop her rag on one of the tables and exit the inn.
Well, right now, I did not realize she meant right this second.
She certainly did. Perhaps you should bring your man Rupert over.
I suppose. I'll walk over to him.
He turns and he looks at you. What do you want?
Oh, I thought you would have had a picture or something.
He reaches into his breast coat pocket and he pulls out and unfolds a photo. Ah! He slips off of the bar stool and he stands up straight, kind of straightens his tie a little bit. Yes, Deracine, I was,
Deracine.
Deracine. I was
Cine.
Dera.
Der.
Der.
Ra.
Dera.
It's fine, just call me Dore.
Deracine. I'll get it. Anyway, good sir, I was sent out, by the estate manager.
Do you have a carriage for me?
Yes, I am to be your driver. They had wished you would return at some point soon. He swallows hard and he looks at you. For the reading of your father's will?
When did that happen?
Almost 2 months ago now. They've had people out looking for you.
Oh no, I got.
They've tried sending some letters as well.
Hey, I've not been in a stable location. I'm sorry, I just need a minute.
Yeah, he's just kind of like letting you absorb this, I guess, is the best way to describe it. Chris is noting the time to make his editing easier.
Yep.
In this moment.
I would just sort of wave him to follow me, and I'd go back to the table just to sit down.
He'll take like the edge seat.
Everyone, this is Rupert.
He'll nod to all of you. He looks nervous and uncomfortable to all of you.
Well, it's a pleasure, Mr. Rupert.
When is the reading happening?
Well, it kind of already happened.
I see.
You see, your mother, after the first month, chose to, at least for now, return home. She wanted to be close to family after you were not found, and the will was changed slightly. You are, if you return, of course, by a certain time, which we could easily get you there in time, to become the new lord of the family manor in Bethel Hill.
I see. Do we know why his will was changed?
Well, your mother technically received the manor, but she was hoping if you were found, you would agree to watch over it in her stead, since she had returned back to Ardenne. I don't know all the details. There's a estate manager that's been staying there waiting for your arrival. He's kind of he's kind of an asshole. I'd very much like to take you back, so he would leave.
Right. Well, I do think that would take precedent for my foreseeable future.
Rupert goes. He has kind of this strange reaction, and he looks past your shoulder at V, and he says, I'm sorry, I think a bit of the flesh on your face just fell off onto the table.
I'll pick it up and put it back on. Just kind of pat it.
You're a doctor. That's not contagious, is it?
It is not contagious. You have nothing to fear.
That's good, that's good. I've seen stranger things in your family. No offense, sir.
You said you've seen stranger things in his family. Sorry to interrupt. But that is
Yeah.
interesting.
I said nothing at all, sir. He straightens up.
Are you saying I'm that weird, Jensen?
No. I'm, you are weird. I mean, but not like in a bad way, I suppose. But the fact that there's other things in his family besides you means that there's now a pattern. You know what I'm talking about, Miss Price, right?
Charlotte will nod. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a pattern, but I do agree it's quite interesting that that's not the weirdest thing he's seen.
Anyways, continue. Sorry for my interjection.
Well, it's simply that, sir. Obviously, I am your driver, and I am paid to follow your commands, so no need to rush if you have things to do. But I will remain here until you need transport elsewhere, of course.
Well, I know this is quite short notice, but I think I need to return home. I will, of course, have Rupert here drop you all off wherever you wish to go, provided it's on the way. You said your lodge is on the way, yes?
Well, it was, yes, but is this something? I don't know. You are so willing to go to the lodge when I mentioned it a few minutes ago. Is this something that you need to do by yourself?
It does seem to be a family matter, and I do have my new
Right.
life to figure out.
Right. Well, I thought I gotta go to the lodge, so maybe the lodge can help us, the rest of us, get somewhere else if you're still willing to go.
Lodge? Rupert looks at you.
Yes, the Everhunt Lodge is what it's called.
Yes, those strange kooks that live up on the hill.
Well, now, be careful who we're calling strange, okay?
I've just heard some things about the man who presides over that lodge. But yes. I actually think that the Everhunt Lodge is only an hour outside the way of the road. And it's about a day's ride in between here and then another day to get there. If all of you are headed to Aethergarde, I'm sure we could drop you off somewhere, even if his lordship here doesn't wish to take you to the manor. I mean, I can fit all of you, is all I'm saying. Whatever you wish.
I think I will be going to Aethergarde.
Yeah.
You're all more than welcome to join me, but if you would rather stop at your lodge, we can drop you off.
Right.
And what does the rest of the party think?
I mean, I'm going with Dare.
Charlotte will look to you. Jensen, and say, I'd be rather interested in this lodge. Even if we don't stop there right away. But if you believe your blade is the most important thing, I have no issue with, if we need to, just traveling the road on foot the second day.
As would I. Not only, like I said, I'm not certain they would, but there's a chance that we could get our own transport there too, and meet up with the rest of you in Aethergarde after I have my businesses attended to there. Or we can go by foot.
Actually, Charlotte will turn and look at you, Maximilian. If you're willing to stop off at the lodge, would it be possible for us to ride in the back of your fancy cart?
Well, I can't make any promises about comfort, mind you, but if you don't mind a bit of a cramped day or two, I'm sure I can fit you in.
Well, then we'll caravan together, at least to the lodge. Rupert will nod and say, I'll get some things prepared. Did all of you want to leave immediately?
Well, no, I have not even eaten yet. I am quite hungry.
Give us a few hours.
He'll nod. I'll have things ready whenever you need them. He'll stand up. It was nice meeting you. Finally. I've been riding around villages looking, so... Alright, I'm gonna go drink. He walks away. Pleasant
look
fellow.
down. I think I need a new change of clothes. As I look down and remember how I vomited on myself when we were put to sleep in the inn and been bloodied and
Yes. Oh, that reminds me. Eagleton gave us a reward. No. Pass out the. She gave us 25.
Yeah, so it's like 5.
So
to
5
each.
each. 5 Dakotas each.
Oh, sweet.
Charlotte will nudge you, Jensen. Give them the
Oh, right, yes. Ooh, I'll get it out of my pack and I'll plop down the bit of thing. We through very little finagling on our part, got ourselves 20 demarks a man. Oh,
And don't tell me you were holding out on us, Mr. Jensen.
oh no, I just, talking to who we were talking to seemed to take a little bit more precedence, considering that this place was already paid for as well. But yeah, we're here. Yeah, and I'll start stacking them out real quick, like I've handled money before.
Would one of you mind taking V out to find some good clothes? I can't rightly spend time in the sun right now.
Charlotte's going to look back and forth between the two of you, and she's going to say, "You know what? I actually could use some more fresh air, and I think I know your dimensions." And she's just going to get up and leave on her own instead of taking him out again.
sweet.
Yeah.
I got a personal shopper now, Dad, just like your parents did.
Undead royalty.
That's something at least.
Oh shit! You must be hungry too. I'm gonna look at V. We don't really have any brains on us though.
Well, technically, you do.
Oh well.
Jeez.
Good doctor, you already piqued my anxiety. Let's not make it worse.
I don't need to consume them. It's just way better if I do consume them. And
Well,
I
You know,
want
when
to
described
think
like that,
actually
they-
tastes good. So
Max.
When described like that, they sound almost more of an intoxicant than a nutrient.
That's a very dark way to look at that.
I mean, not really. I don't get like drunk or high or anything. I just can
You
absorb
crave it.
skills or memories from them. So it's actually, but they only last like a day.
Right.
So if I don't eat a brain, I don't get to like that extra good feeling in that area the next day.
Max, your instincts tell you that that is more than just a scientific process that he's talking about.
But
If I recall correctly, I believe I've heard of herbs that cause similar effects. I may have to check with Charlotte. She might know.
I don't think so, but you could ask her.
You crave it. I know that might be an odd question, but
I mean, I want it. It's not like. Just think if there was like one thing in the world that tasted good to you, and everything else tasted like nothing. Wouldn't you want that one thing in the world?
well, yes, I would. Put that way, absolutely.
The
I was just
coffee was
into a-
pretty good. I liked coffee a lot.
Yes, coffee is good. That's true. Well, in fact, after we rest, I'm going to have to sleep before we get going. But when we get up, coffee is in the order, I think. If we can frazzle up some. No, I was just trying to assess more about you. I've come across more than a few of your kind in my lifetime, and You are quite unique for obvious reasons. And it just piques my curiosity.
Doesn't that mean you haven't come across any of my kind? Then?
Well, it depends on how specific I guess you want to be. I'm more of a general categories kind of hunter.
I
Well,
don't
I
know,
mean-
that sounds kind of racist.
Indeed. I suppose. I never thought about it that way. I never thought about, honestly, I don't know what I would have thought, but my weapon even doesn't even recognize you as something I need to be wary of, which I guess is a good thing.
Which means I'm not like anything you fought before then, because your weapon doesn't say to kill me.
Correct. Despite what I do know about you now.
I mean, I don't know much about me.
Thing of your nature, I suppose. I suppose that's what it is. Something that lives on borrowed time, I suppose, is the most general way I could describe what I've seen. I think you fall into that category.
Doesn't everybody live on borrowed time?
Ooh, no. Time is a resource, and we are born rich as kings, some would say, in something. But there's a finite amount of it.
So you go into debt when you've already died?
I think you're taking this a little bit too literally. I believe you are a creature of undeath. Undeath follows you. You live, but you don't, and then you don't, but you do. And my kind usually hunt your kind, but you are different.
He made me.
You both pique my anxiety at certain times.
I mean, he's probably undead now too.
I should say so. Yes.
If anybody comes hunting him, I'm putting him in the ground.
That is rather aggressive. Most hunters think a situation through, or if you don't, you're more than likely to be, eaten or killed in and of yourself. The hunter becoming the hunter, as it were. If someone came along hunting you, and they saw me with you, if it were me, I would have pause. That's all I'm saying.
Perhaps it is for the best that V and the good doctor are not staying at the lodge with the rest of us.
It sounds like that's the plan anyway. But yes, I would cause quite the commotion if I came on up in here with two creatures that are normally hunted.
The food has been cleared from your plates. Your drinks have been drank to the bottom. Do you guys want to take long rests?
I'd like to.
Yeah.
Sure.
At near the beginning of that long rest, Darcine and V, you get a knock at your door, and Charlotte drops off like 3 sets of clothes for you. Here, these should work, and I've bought you a couple backups.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Charlotte.
I think I'm going to sleep now. Make sure somebody comes and gets me when it's time to go.
Of course.
Oh,
She'll trudge off to her room. And is there anything anybody wants to do before they take their long rest? Alright. You may
That's it.
rest your characters. You may roll to recover wounds and sanity if you need to.
We do need to.
How do we rest
Addition-
again?
I believe. Are you asking me what you're... I believe it's like pretty high on a long rest. So, let's check the rules. I'm trying to mess this up. Yeah. So you roll a 1d12 and remove that many wounds from your health, and then you roll another d12 and remove that many wounds from yourself.
What do you get for a short rest? Because that's what I rolled, getting.
D6 and a d6.
I'm also gonna have my light out for V and me, so we can
What
add.
does that give us?
That gives us an extra point to our wound threshold.
Cool.
Alright.
Rolled an 11 on mine.
That the driver represents. Chris took the personal transporter feature from the. It used to be called noble lineage. Now it's called privileged upbringing. From that calling. All right. Are there any last minute things you guys want to do after your long rest before you leave Lambeth Hollow behind and head towards Aethergarde? All right. As all of you pile into your 2 carts and begin your caravan, it's like late afternoon when you're starting this journey, but Rupert has no issue with driving through the night. Neither does Brandon. You begin your journey. You leave Lambeth Hollow behind. Originally, I was going to ask. I assumed that Stella, as Charlotte, was going to ask if all of you wanted her to read more from the book on this journey.
I had
But-
kind of figured we
Yeah,
would.
but she's not here to play Seraphina. So I'm thinking what we should do instead is we should roll a little random encounter, because those were going to be mixed in with the book reading too, and then we should consider just getting to the point where the party is splitting and meeting the lodge, and then when the group leaves the lodge next time we play, she can read to them, and we can consider that knowledge to be passed on in conversation to the other characters whenever you meet up with them again, since it appears we're having a party split. So, as all of you get in your caravan, I have 4 different random encounters prepared, so I wanted to make some random encounters in the new system. So who would like to roll a d4 for all of you? I feel like we should make it like a really big d4. You know how we've got the big d20?
Yes.
I feel like we need a big one of each of the dice in there.
Let's do it.
Alright, who wants to roll the giant d20 for the party?
The D4.
I'll do it.
3.
3.
All right. As all of you get about halfway through the journey, the front cart, Darasane's cart, slows down, and you hear somebody calling from the side of the road, "Help, please! Help that caravan! Please help us!" Peeking out the windows of your carts, you'd see that there's a pair of older gentlemen. They're actually somewhat out of place. Like, they're dressed a little bit too nice to be like traveling on the long road by themselves. And they have a cart, an open backed cart full of chests and sacks. It looks like their back left wheel has like come off of the spoke, and so their cart has been left like unusable, and they've probably been here for a little while. It looks like they set out a couple crates and had like eaten a meal here and stuff. They're both older. They both have waxed mustaches.
And it's nighttime?
It is. It's like the middle of the night right now. They've even got a fire going.
I will freely leave and go out into the open.
It's because he's a night owl. It's not because he's a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Totally not a vampire.
Yes, you there. I'm sorry. We seem to have... My roommate just woke up from a nap and was like, why is my internet down? I was like, bro, you gotta restart all your shit. He kind of points back to the broken wheel and the spoke, and he looks back to all of you. We are worldly men, but the other one nods. Perry and I here, we're stuck. Do you think you could lend us a hand?
Well, we have quite a few hands. Let's see what we can do.
Dude, they seem nervous.
Roll an insight test. Target number is 6. Anybody can do this, by the way. You're all observing them.
Max will cast magical sight before leaving his cart so he can see a little better in the dark.
Five. Damn it.
They do seem a little nervous. More nervous because so many of you piled out of the cart.
Okay.
What seems to be the problem?
Do you want to try to check it out?
I'm asking him what the problem is.
Well, the wheel came off. I think something may have snapped. Wouldn't happen to be handy in the things of a mechanical nature, would you?
A little bit. And I have a couple of strong men with me.
So go ahead and make a study test on their cart. The high target number is 12.
I'm gonna start walking kind of like in like a little bit wider berth so I can see around the other side of the car.
Make a study test.
9.
Okay. So you're able to diagnose the wheel. It looks like you need a couple people to make athletics tests to hold it up for you. It looks like you're going to need to make a mechanics test to reconnect it.
Okay. I think if we can get
I don't know if you're familiar.
Also with that 9, you've definitely noticed that the things in the back of their cart aren't like food, or anything like that. Like they're storing goods. You're not sure what the goods are though.
Well, I think I need a couple of you to hold this up, and I can probably reattach it for them.
I should be able to hold it up on my own.
You can absolutely try me.
I will
Max
grab
was
the other
strong.
side.
Max will stay back by the carts and keep an eye on things.
Max, make a perception test. The target number is 20.
I cannot hit that.
Can you hit it with momentum?
I don't think so.
Well, rolling
Double
anyways. That's just like the really high-end target number. The rest?
Yeah, the max I can hit is a 12.
Well, you might get something on a 12. Go ahead and roll. Try it. The rest of you, I need 2 athletics tests.
Yeah, I'll roll athletics.
They're each against a target number of 10, and then I need a mechanics test against a target number of 8.
Does my super strength help lower the target?
Yeah, I'd
number
say
at
it's
all?
easy.
Okay.
I got a 9 on the perception.
I auto pass.
It's a clear night, Jesse.
Tier of athletics
Wait.
checks. Does that matter?
What I tell you it was a 10. Yes, you auto pass that because you would auto pass at 12 then.
Cool.
I got a 15 total.
15. Okay. Easily hold the card up. Easily hold the card up. Takes about 10 minutes to reattach the wheel, and it looks to you that their card is back in business.
Well, there you go. Looks like you'd be up and running again.
That's incredible. We don't have much in the way of money at the moment, but here, take these. One of them reaches into one of his packs, and he pulls out some slips of paper that are shiny, like parchment that's been embossed with gold. And he starts handing them out to each of you, and he says, "These are free tickets to the Museum of Mythos." Yes, I know. Bit kooky, but that's what we have to offer. We're actually heading back that way to Aethergarde now.
Museum of Mythos, you say?
Yes, you see, Perry and I, my name's Reggie, by the way, we're 2 curators at the Museum of Mythos in Aethergarde. We study what we like to call the secret world and the history of it.
Interesting.
And are these things that will be on display at the museum?
Some of them, yes, once they're properly curated.
Hopefully we can see them.
You can.
Hopefully you can. We've lost quite a bit of time and we really must be off. But thank you so much. Perry. And they start like shuffling stuff back onto their cart.
Well, travel safely.
High quality.
Thank you. And we hope to see you all in Aethergarde.
That's where we're headed.
They pile onto their cart and they ride it onto the road. As all of you are walking back up the ditch on the side of the road to your carts, Perry turns back as the horses start to trot, and he says, "And be wary. There's been some strange sightings lately. Not sure if they're true or not, but we had heard some people being waylaid on the road."
At least it's not ominous.
Let's hope. Have a good night. Yeah. And he starts to drive their horses forward ahead of all of you.
As everyone else gets back to the carts, Max would say, "Strange sightings. Whatever could they be? Vampires? Undead?"
Charlotte closes the door and closes the door and leans out and looks at you as you're getting on your cart, back on your cart, like the driver's seat of your cart with Brandon next to you, and she smiles and she says, "Even witches."
Whatever will we do?
I was fairly certain that they were the ones that would waylay us, but sometimes you get lucky.
Always looking for trouble, or perhaps it's always finding you.
They just
Always on
needed
the
a bit of
lookout
help.
for us.
Max would examine the ticket with the dragon shard before putting it away.
It doesn't ping or anything.
Okay.
It is a admissions ticket to the Museum of Mythos, and it is pretty fancy.
Just one?
Each of you got one,
Okay.
and Brandon got one, and Rupert got one.
It's fun.
Field trip.
Is that something I've heard of before?
Make a lore
Is
test.
that- That was gonna be not gonna work.
It's gonna be against a target number of like 6.
Now that's a 9. That's pretty good. It's almost as
Yeah,
good as
you've heard of them.
Okay.
You know that you've heard that there's a few branches. The one in Albion is an Aethergarde.
Okay. We'll see. I didn't realize the Museum of Mythos had different branches here. I imagined there maybe on Albion there was one, but I had no idea where it was.
Oh, I'm quite certain it'll be full of a bunch of shiny trinkets and other charlatanry.
Nothing get past you.
No one with an object of real magical value is going to be simply showing it off to the world without care.
Right. Am I to guess too that you were, looking into their what they were taking back to the museum while we were up there? Am I right to assume that?
Oh, I might have taken a peek.
I'll smirk at you, like knowingly,
As your carts... Sorry, keep going.
I would just say anything interesting.
Would I have noticed anything interesting? Magically,
There were things in the cart that were pinging magical, but you didn't get close enough to look through things.
Yeah.
There was at least a dozen things in that cart that were magical.
Max would say. Like I said, a handful of shiny odds and ends that would impress the average citizen of Aethergarde, I'm sure.
I'm not in my head on.
As the carts continue forward, wrapping around the old road, you eventually turn off of the main road and begin to head up a dirt road into the hills. Rupert opens the window and looks to you, Tharasine, and says, "Sir, I think I see that lodge ahead. How close did you want me to drop everyone off?"
Jensen, how close do you think it is safe for one such as myself to get?
Well, I mean, the lodge watches the roads and shit, but not. I think dropping us off where the road splits would be just fine.
You can see the lodge now, so it's in walking distance.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is probably okay.
He is good.
Yes.
The carts start to slow.
All right.
Can you answer a question for me, Jensen?
More probably. Depends on the question.
What does your sword say about me?
What's my sword say about it? I won't even look down on it. I'm gonna pull it out and I'm gonna pull it out a little bit, and without looking at it, I'm gonna say, I know who my friends and who my foes are. Is it glowing? I wouldn't imagine it is.
That'd be a question for Matt, who's
Yeah,
having issues
who currently is
again.
God damn it.
2 out of 3 Cox users say their internet doesn't work.
Yeah, as soon as you say their internet doesn't work.
2 out of 3 Cox users.
The carts slow to a stop. Charlotte steps out. As she steps out, she looks to you, and everyone kind of piles out. She'll look to you, Tharasine, and she'll say, "I do hope we'll be seeing you again in Aethergarde."
Ask your question
You
now.
should be able to find me in the city.
Somebody had a question.
Yeah, right. As you guys cut out, Darik asked Jensen a question.
asked what Jensen's sword said about me.
I pulled it out of the sheath just a little bit, like I nudged it out
No.
without looking down at it, and I said, I know who my friends and my foes are.
That's awesome.
But is it?
But is it
glowing
lit
or
up
is
or
it
not?
No, it's not.
That is something at least.
I'll reach out to shake your hand.
I'll shake
Try
your
and
hand
stay
back.
out of trouble for a couple days.
I think I'm going to nothing but trouble, but I will try.
You're telling him to stay out of trouble. We're the ones who need to stay out of trouble. We'll be the ones without a doctor for a few days.
Oh, but we'll be surrounded. We'll be in a safe place here in a moment. Don't you worry. And I can almost guarantee you, folks think like I do there, and I love your show, Maximilian. You'll have a bright new audience, I'm sure.
Well, I suppose I could use some time brushing up on my skills before I move to the big stage, as it were.
Absolutely. I guarantee few like you have ever traipsed through our lodge. He smiles at you, a big ass smile.
Max will tip his hat at him.
And be like, look at the friend I made, guys. He's awesome.
There's one more thing. But for V, I think you should stay with our new friends.
Here at the lodge.
I don't think they would let any harm come to you. And it would be a right more pleasant time for you away from where I'm headed.
I'm more worried about you where you're headed. Are you sure you don't need me to back you up?
I don't think any harm will come to me within the city.
Alright, if you want me to stay, I guess I'll stay.
It's not that I want you to, it's that I think you should. Help with your development. See new things, meet new people. Not be stuck in an old stuffy house. With me.
No, you do know most of these people probably want to kill me, right?
Well, that's true for both of us.
They're kind of racist.
That's not what racist means. Charlie just kind of mutters under her breath.
I'm gonna say, oh, don't you worry. If I do not want them to lay a hand on you, they won't. They'll be wary, and you will get stabs, but they won't hurt you.
Oh,
When they
okay,
are,
then I guess.
when you guys come to the city, we can have a reunion. I'll show you around.
Okay. I'll hop off to go with them to the lodge.
Rupert looks to you.
I'm gonna hand the book to V to hold on to.
Interesting. Okay. The rest of you see him pull a large, very old-looking tome out of his pack and hand it to V.
Hold on to this for us.
Alright, what is it?
It is what binds us together.
Oh,
I think you should hold on to it for now.
Yeah, if you want to.
okay. I'll keep this safe. And I'll put it into a bag
Make one.
All
or
right.
a pocket if it's small enough to fit into a pocket.
It is not. You have to put it in your bag.
Bag it is.
Thank you,
Fun,
everyone. Take care of each other.
but it is the best
Be safe.
way to- It's like
And for at least right now, Derasine leaves the party as his personal driver takes him off into the night. Well, the early morning now.
We're gonna have to walk the rest of the way to town now.
I
We
don't
have
think we're
maps.
actually going to a town.
Well, I mean,
no.
after the lodge to go to Aethergarde.
No, you still have you guys can technically pile into the performance cart. It just doesn't. It's not going to be as comfortable.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And all of you start up the hill towards the lights of the lodge in the early morning. And I think that's where we're going to end our session. Just because the internet is going to inevitably this session is cursed. So I think we should just end it here.
Well, it's because the witch isn't here, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah,
well,
that's
it's because
it.
Giggs left her alive, so she cursed it.
She was the one that was holding the veils together.
This was chapter 13.
Yep.
Great roleplay, everybody. I'm interested to see where things go.
Yeah.
A character has left, at least for now, in a way I didn't even expect. So there you go.
Catching everyone by surprise.